What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. Y'all, it's week 7. Can y'all believe it? I think I said that in my live on Tuesday. Like, yo, it's week 7. Every time I just think about it, it's like, dang. What they say, time flies when you're having fun. But hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. I am Coach Alicia, if you're not aware. And I will be leading tonight's Wellness Wednesday talk. Yes, we have a special guest. I'm super excited for that. But as always, I'm going to allow at least 3 minutes for you all to get up in here. I got to figure out how to. I usually have like pictures on my watch, but now it's like this weird clock. So I got to figure out how to get my pictures back on there. But anyway, technology, right? But as you all know, this week's theme is eager to reflect. So as we are approaching our week 8, I know a lot of times, you start seeing people post their before and afters. You start posting your before and afters, and you're like, man, look how far I've come. I think that's super important to make sure you acknowledge all the hard work that you have been putting in. But while we are reflecting, I want us to remember not to do what's called like a negative reflecting, right? A reverse reflect. So what I mean by that is I don't want you to look back, right? And you see where you started and you know, okay, I wanted to get better. And you've been getting better. You've been drinking your water. You've been eating your food. You've been, doing all the things, getting your workout in. And then you look at your after picture, and probably you lost, let's say, 10 pounds. But then you start beating yourself up because you're like, well, I should have did more. So now you're reflecting on the old picture and you're reflecting on the new picture, and you're still not satisfied. No, that's not the mindset we want to have. We want to have the mindset of, okay, I see how far I've come and I have a little bit more to go, and that's okay. That's okay. So I want you guys to have that mindset. Don't beat yourself up just because you're not exactly where you thought you were going to be about week 7. Congratulate the progress that you do have. All right. So again, drinking water, eating your meals, getting your workouts in, and even how you're thinking. Make sure you're tapping into our mental fitness coaches and all that good stuff. Yes, yes, yes. But we have about like 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna start this thing off. I'm super excited about our guest that we have tonight. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. But the little, introduction that I do want to sprinkle in there is that this is actually my sorority sister. Shout out to Zabeda. But she is, man, she's an amazing person inside and out. She has the most beautiful smile, the most beautiful spirit, and I've been knowing her for a while now. So I'm super proud of her and everything that she's doing. And she also did a premium workout. Yes, so if you are in premium, you see the face, you may be like, oh, I remember her. So make sure you check out her full body workout as well. And real quick, I have on my E2M Atlanta shirt, just a shameless plug. On May the 11th, we will be in Atlanta. So go ahead and make sure you book that flight or just prepare your schedule that you're coming to Atlanta. But it is 3 minutes past the hour, and we are going to introduce our lovely guest, Miss Katie Blythe. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Good, good, good. So again, I'm gonna let Katie introduce herself. So Katie, go ahead. You have the floor. Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, a little bit
Mhm.
about what you do, and then we'll get into some questions that I think will definitely be beneficial for the group tonight.
All right. Well, I am Katie, and I am a holistic health and well-being coach, and I'm also a therapist. But on the coaching side of things, I approach my work from the mind, body, spirit, um, like structure, and just incorporating the whole person into like when you're trying to change your lifestyle habits, when you're trying to access your higher self, right? And so that means nutrition gets thrown in there. That means your physical health gets thrown in there. So I'm really about helping guide my clients into whatever the fulfilled version of their life is. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I can go real deep up in there, but that's how I approach things from mind, body, spirit, and just really coaching you to get to the life that you are worthy of, that you've always dreamed of. And then on the therapy side, I do the traditional like psychotherapy, talk therapy, but also doing um, somatic stuff in there. So, like body awareness and sensations and things of that nature. So, that's a little bit about me.
Oh, I love it. And speaking of deep, I'm going to jump into our first question. So, what is the importance of establishing a deeper level why before starting a weight loss journey or changing any path of your lifestyle? So, why, should we have that why to keep us going?
hmm So this I like to think of like the iceberg, right? So you have the top like surface level of I want to lose weight, right? Like great. Like
Mhm.
that's awesome. But when we go like up under there, it's always something that is deeper. So whether that's like a deep body image or issues that we've had growing up, whether that is self worth type of things, whether that is you're wanting to beat the generational diseases, diabetes or high cholesterol, or you've seen family members pass away, or you want to be able to teach your children better lifestyle habits. So when we go a little bit deeper, it helps us to really connect to what I call your big motivating factor. And that's that thing that when life happens, when it gets rough, right? Because when you get started, you're like, yeah, man, I got this. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Mhm.
We got there, we got it. But then something gonna happen. You're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
nah, man, I ain't feeling none of this, right? And so
Mhm.
that's when we got to tap into that deeper level, not just I want to lose 10 pounds, but what is it? Why do you really want to lose that 10 pounds? And then I get curious, like a kindergartner. Okay, then why? Well, what will that do for you? Well, why do you want that? And so that helps us to go at least 7 layers deep into that really gut wrenching why that you're going to be able to tap into when you have those days, right? And so I also like to even connect that to something in your physical environment. So you connect your why to like, I have these bracelets on all the time. Right. So
Mm.
when you're out and about or you're not feeling like going to the gym after work, it's like you have something in your physical environment that reminds you of, oh, that's why I need to do this. Right. So it's about taking your deeper level why even and surrounding yourself with that so that you really can
Okay, I
tap
like
into
that.
it wherever you are.
All right, so I love that. So, our second question: what is the benefit of addressing your mindset in relationship with food while on a weight loss and physical health journey?
So, with this one, we can really, really underestimate the power of your mind, right?
Mhm.
And so, as you are starting out on something new, there are so many what I call sometimes the roadblocks that are going to come up. So, that's the limiting belief, things about worth, or how you grew up with food, or even just how engulfed food is in our society. So, when we're happy, we going out to eat. When we sad, we want to eat. When it's a party, we want to eat. So, food is everywhere, right? Okay. And so then when you're on that journey and you're looking at all these things and all this food around, and sometimes that negative self-talk, right, can come out also. Or this food is bad, this food is good. So if I eat the bad food, then I'm into my judgment and shame and guilt cycles, right?
Mm.
And that does nothing
Now,
to help you with moving forward and staying consistent on your weight loss journey. So, and even like the diet culture,
mhm.
right? And like the shame of don't eat that, don't eat. So it's like in your face, like 100% of the day. And so how do you deal with that, right? So if food was comfort for you when things got uncomfortable, that's going to look very different, and it can cause a struggle when you're on a weight loss journey.
Mhm.
And your number one coping skill is something that you're trying to completely restructure.
Mm.
So taking some time to figure out what your relationship with food looks like, and what your mindset around that is going to really set you up for success on this journey.
I love that. I love that. And you said it, if you knocked it right here on the head when we were saying good food versus bad food. Like, even though, of course, we have a meal plan where a lot of foods aren't necessarily on the menu, we let people know it's not that we're trying to teach you there's good food versus bad food. Versus there's whole foods and there's not so whole foods, and a lot of times we're just trying to introduce you to new foods, because a lot
Mhm,
of times we don't even know how much certain things affect our body because we never took it out of our diet. Things causing inflammation, causing extreme bloat. So that's why we have the select options that we do have, but it's never to make you feel like, oh, if I eat something outside of this plan, then it's bad. No, that's not
mhm.
the case. So I love that you mentioned that as well. All right, question number three: is it necessary to tune into the mental state you are in while eating? Kind of, you know.
Absolutely. So, this is where I really talk about when you're stressed or if you're on the go eating. And so, or are you being mindful? So, for instance, um, depending on, like, say you're a teacher, or if you just have a high stress job, or you don't have a lot of time on your break to eat, right? So, when you're like rushing and eating, that also impacts even your digestive system. So what, and the things that you're thinking about, right, become engulfed in that eating experience. So when I talk about holistic view, I'm talking about your entire state of being while you are enjoying whatever meal, right? So if you're watching, some, I don't know, something scary or something stressful on TV, that experience is wrapped up in your eating experience, right? So sometimes if your emotions get out of whack, like your rest and digest system shuts off,
Mhm.
right? And so you're not going to have the most holistic digestive system experience, shall I say, while you are eating under, different mental states, right? So even also who you are being while you're eating, right? So is your mind wrapped up in, yeah, tomorrow? Or is your mind wrapped up in, I don't even know why I'm doing this because I know it's going to take me, I got 10 more pounds to go. Like, so like listen to yourself and pay attention to what actually is happening while you're eating. Or are you eating mindfully? I'm not saying everybody is like this. Some people do off rip, like, ooh, let me look at these greens, like, I wonder how they cook this type of thing,
Yeah.
right? So, and then the flavors and the tasting and immersing yourself in the experience, it really makes a difference, the mindset that you're in when you're actually eating.
Man, that's deep right there. I know when I was in grad school, for whatever reason, I always snacked during studying. So even now that I'm not in grad school, I realized I had to kind of step back and realize that I associate being still and working with snacking. And I had to get out. I mean, granted, I was eating on cucumbers and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't like I was indulging in bad things, but it makes so much sense because, like you said, I made that my experience. So whenever I associate with being still and working, whether I'm studying or whatever, I feel like I need to be doing this. And that's a good mental note because it's kind of like, yeah, well, you don't need to, if you know that's something you don't want to pick up, a habit to pick up, then don't be snacking every time you're sitting there. So that's for me. And I know Coach Jeff, I'm sure he doesn't mind me speaking on this. We were actually talking about this a couple of weeks ago because he says that he eats, he really takes his time and eat a little slower. Whereas for me, I am still practicing to eat slow because I've always been that, eating so fast. And it's like, girl, slow down. Like my mom used to always be like, girl, where you going? Like,
We're gonna
so
take your plate.
right, why you gotta take your plate? You just you know but so that's something that I notice it now, so I'm more mindful of it now. But I will say sometimes I get a little lost, and next thing you know, I'm like, dang, I ate that already. And so it's something I'm still working on. So we, even your coach, still working on something, y'all. So that's good. I only have two more questions for you. Question number 4: how does your mental state impact? Oh, hold on, let me turn my. All right. How does your mental state impact nutrient absorption and the digestive system?
Yes. So this kind of goes back to what I touched on a little bit with the parasympathetic system, which is your rest and digest. So this is the system that really helps you to digest your food, right? So this is sometimes when people have like heavy bloating after a meal or upset stomach, or and you might be eating the right things, right? But how you're actually eating, like the state that you're in. If you're in a stress state, literally, it's like, think of like a light switch, right? So either your stress system is on or your rest and digest system is on. They both cannot be on at the same time, right? So this is for the person who's, I'm eating all the right things, like I'm on the meal plan, like I don't understand what's going on. So then we take a step back and we like, okay, what is your experience while you're eating? Because if you're not in a restful state of your body or of mind, those nutrients are not getting absorbed like you think they should be. Just because you eat something does not necessarily mean that your system is absorbing the nutrients
Mhm.
that are coming from those whole foods, right? So that's why I really focus a lot of time on like your state of being, right? Because we are human beings, not always human doing, right? So what is your well-being like? What states are you eating in? So I harp on that, hammering that part in, because this is a lifestyle journey, and the states that you're in are going to directly impact how that food, literally does justice to your system, right? And so, um, again, with the stress state, it's something that when we begin to focus more on it and get mindful, you think, when I'm watching TV, I'm, distracted, or when I'm out and eating with friends, or, we're talking about this topic, it makes me emotion arise, right? So all of the things, everywhere you are, going to the movies, eating popcorn, like all of it. We want to look at all of that in your state, and are you really in the best state to really get what you need from the food and that experience? So I can go on and on,
I know.
but I'll stop it right there.
This is good. I'm like, dang, do I need to send you some money after this for this? I feel like I'm getting therapy right now for this little session. But I will. As you are thinking, it makes me feel like I need to start a food journal, because a lot of times I know I eat at different times. I don't have a set, like, growing up, it's like, okay, you wake up, boom, you sit at the table, you eat your food. We have lunch, we have dinner together. As an adult, a moving adult, an active adult is kind of like, all right, let me eat right now real quick. I don't have set times where I eat. I eat, but I don't have like, okay, I know I'm a, eat right here in the morning. So I may be eating while I'm, at work or whatever the case is. But it makes me feel like, dang, I've never really focused on what are you doing every time you eat? What is your mindset like every time you eat? Because sometimes I do be trying to let me hurry up and get something in before I start my day, or let me hurry up and get something in before I reach my window. But man, yeah, I really feel like I'm about to start a food just to see how I am doing this. This is good stuff, girl. Okay, period. All right, last question. How do you remain dedicated to a weight loss journey when life happens, i.e., stress, family, kids, career, tragedy, etc.?
Yeah, so number one is, always going back to what we talked about in the beginning, that deeper level why, and then a solid commitment. So how sometimes we're like, yeah, I need to lose 10 pounds, or yeah, I want to lose 10 pounds, or maybe I'll start then. It's like, until you make the commitment and tell your brain what you're going to focus on, the results, could be far few in between, because you're going to get what you focus on. Your mind is going to find and focus on what the goal is that you set. So if you're ping ponging back and forth, you're going to be ping ponging back and forth, right? So the deeper level why, and then the solid commitment of, I'm going to do this. I've made the decision to go on this journey and to commit to it. Then I'll also say the community. So it seems like E2M is like this family, everybody has each other's back. And I don't know the depths of things, but it seems like it could be a community where if you're struggling with something, like, hey, we're here for you. It sounds like you have the mental coaches and all the, wonderful
Accountability
pieces.
partners, like all the things.
Accountability partner, for sure. But yeah, all of that makes a difference, because sometimes it can feel like you're on an island by yourself, especially if you're in a family and you're the only one, or you're, nobody else is doing this, right? Maybe you're the one that's taking the first step to get healthy or whatever for your family. So don't isolate yourself, because when it gets rough and those emotions start coming up and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this, that's where you lean on. That's who you lean on, your community, your accountability partner. Then I would say, set yourself up for success with as much direction or plan as you can. And I say plan because things change. And so it sounds like with the meal plans, right? You guys really set them up for, okay, this is what you're after, this is how much water, this is, the foods, the healthy foods to choose from, this is how you cook those foods, right?
Mhm.
Even doing like a pantry reset, right? Going in through your cabinets and being like, oh, okay, I know, well, let me go ahead and get rid of
Right,
them
right.
cereal cookies, or whatever.
Throw it out.
whatever.
If it's in there, you're probably gonna eat it. Throw it out. Throw it out.
Exactly, because when it gets those emotions start going, you like, let me go find my little stash, back in
Mhm.
there. So yeah, set yourself up in your environment, right? That anchoring I talked about, where that's the sticky notes that you have around. To my left, I have like 10 of them on my area where I work or whatnot. The anchors and whatever that is. Set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last part of it, I would say, is detaching from harsh expectations.
Mm.
So, like you said, Alicia, in the beginning, y'all are coming up on week 8,
We,
or this is
this is
this is
week
week
7,
7.
yeah. But we have coming up on week 8, yeah.
Yeah, and so kind of that looking at where you started versus where you are right now, and then being like, well, I expected to be blah blah blah. I expected to be at this point, blah blah blah. That takes so much of the joy out of the journey.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, and all the things that you have done, and the lifestyle changes that you have made.
Yep.
So letting go of the harsh expectations of yourself and celebrating what you did do, and enjoying the journey, right? Because why are we? I mean, life is meant to be enjoyed,
Come on.
right? So seriously,
Mhm.
even when we're working on hard things and changing things and blah blah blah, like looking back, like, dang, what did it take for me to do that? What
Yeah.
skills did I grow? Like, when did I have the most fun trying these new meals and these new seasonings and meeting my accountability partner and really working through that hard time? Enjoy that stuff,
Yeah.
and give yourself grace, right?
There it is.
Give yourself grace.
Come on,
Drop the
Grace.
judgment at the drawer and have fun. That's what I would say.
I love it. Listen, all of that, that's great information, guys. Please, 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 please make sure you're taking these mental notes and save this live so you can replay it back because this is some good stuff. Well, Katie, this is coming to an end. But I am wanted to say before we exit out, I am super proud of you, girl. And guys, remember, Katie is she does have a workout on Eat to Win Premium. She did a full body workout, crushing it. So she's body goals. So make sure you tap into Eat to Win Premium. If you're not already, check out Katie's workout as well. But this is a lot of great information, guys. But again, week 7, we're approaching week 8. Make sure you take these notes and make sure you guys continue to enjoy the journey. I know a lot of times week 7, week 8, everybody start posting their before and afters and comparison happens, and we want to make sure we do not get sucked into that because we all know, say it with me, comparison is a thief of joy, and we do not, as Katie said, we don't want to lose our joy. We want to be able to have fun while we're doing it and understand that everybody is different. Everybody's at a different level. Everybody, sometimes we can't compare ourselves to other people because they may be the middle of their chapter when it's just our beginning. So again, Katie, thank you so much. I love you so much. And you at home, make sure you wake up with me tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Thursday, we have cardio hit. And then on Friday mornings, we're waking up at 6 o'clock a.m. for our Friday circuit. But until next time, God bless.